You're experiencing a similar sensation as when you pass. So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to haphazardly let you leave, it's highly likely that you'd... The rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. For now, I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid wandering off on your own. At least... Good. Now, continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
Seriously? But just if Paimon knows we're set on meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali as soon as possible... hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over... What's weird? You mean how you're feeling now? You mean the vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those weren't hallucinations, what could they be? Well, considering how unique you are, if he misjudged your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right? Huh? You mean that Tainari already knows that what you saw weren't... Oh, Paimon gets it now. That explains why you were so quiet earlier. Well, that settles it then. We'll stay here to rest up and figure out what's going on with your hallucinations. But it seems like asking Tainari might not be an option anymore. What do you think we should do? Good idea. Kale's... Rise and shine! Come on, it's time to go find Kale!
Our recent catch was great. Definitely have enough for a grand feast.
All right, next let's see your right hand. But please remember that...
Yes, I will.
Look, Kale.
But I have a vision too!
Don't talk like that, Kale. This is not something you need to be worrying about right now. Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Yeah, since we'll be staying here for now, we thought we might as well try lending a hand around here.
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? In that case, perhaps Kale could take you two for a patrol south of Gandharvaville for the day. And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the Statue of the Seven.
Tainari, we're ready to head out.
Got it! I'll be right there! All right, we'll be heading into the forest now. I'll leave any further details to Kale.
Yes, you can count on me. So, Kale, what exactly are we going to be doing today? Tainari mentioned cleaning the statue just now, but, that doesn't really sound like the job for a ranger.
Well, a forest ranger's responsibilities can be pretty diverse. They handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of outlying roads, maintaining forest facilities, ensuring fire prevention standards are met, and providing assistance to travelers and locals. As for Master, well, he has to handle more dangerous areas of the rainforest. Today we can perform routine checks on the pathway lamps as we make our way to the Statue of the Seven. Paimon, traveler, this way! You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you two can keep an eye out for anything unusual.
Ah, something with which to commemorate this occasion.
Aaaa is a truly troublesome illness. How many Rubishaba mushrooms do I need to sell? I am dead on my feet. I think I'll stay here a while.
Nothing wrong with these two lamps. Let's move to the next ones. Oh, this lamp seems to be getting a little wobbly. Let me make a note of it. No problems with this lamp. Good. The statue of the Seven is up on top of that large rock formation. It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm sure Master wouldn't mind if you... Oh? I guess I'll leave it up to you.
Paimon will fly up with you and help you with those hard-to-reach areas. By the way, Kale.
That depends.
Huh? Greater... Oh, is that the name of...
Uh-huh. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was Sumeru's first Dendro Archon. She created the rainforest as well as the wall of Samiel around the desert. To the people of Sumeru, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity that occurred a few hundred... According to what Master has told me, the sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon and whisked her back to Sumeru. To celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity, the sages dubbed her Lesser Lord Kusanali and let her reside in the sanctuary of Sirastana.
Uh-huh. Then what happened?
Well, and then... I'm not too sure what happened, to be honest.
Huh? You're not too sure? But aren't you from Sumeru?
Yeah, I'm from Sumeru. But...
Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with strangers. If that's the case, then don't worry, we understand.
No, it's not that. I'm not trying to hide something from you. Besides, I don't consider you two strangers. Because you two know Amber, right?
Wait, Amber? You mean...
Yes, that's her. I once lived in Mondstadt for a while, and she helped me a lot during that time. You could even say that she helped me become a new person. There's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment, but is also very understanding of others. She's like the spark that lights the fire in everyone's heart around her. If you ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the first person anyone coming to Mondstadt will meet. You can't help but be enthralled by her charm and enthusiasm, causing you to fall in love with the lands of Mondstadt and... sorry.
Paimon thought the work of Outriders was a little different from what you just described, but one thing's for sure. You really like Amber.
Sorry. I was rambling on just now. It must have sounded kind of weird.
It's alright, Kale. Knowing that you're a friend of Amber somehow makes Paimon suddenly feel a lot closer to you. So, how do you know that we've met Amber?
Well, after I returned to Sumeru, Amber and I have stayed in touch by writing each other letters. In one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a mysterious blonde traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, considering everything you've been through that day, I thought it'd be inappropriate to bring it up.
So that's how you knew.
Yep, so please know that you two have my complete trust, really. I wish I could tell you more about the Dendroarchon, but I have been away from Sumeru for some time, and I haven't read any books. Sorry.
That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or the Sanctuary of Surasthana until you mentioned them.
Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. There is one thing I want to ask, though. Why do you two want to know about the Dendroarchon? So that's why you're here. Thank you for telling me your story.
Don't mention it. We are friends after all, right? Alright, we have a statue to clean.
You both have my thanks. While you two are up there cleaning, I'll go ahead and inspect the forest canopy. Let's meet back here shortly. I'm not a very... I'll go check the facilities.
Who ate a poisonous mushroom this time?
Next time, be sure to make...
Yeah.
Huh. Now that Paimon looks at it, the deity that's carved... Do you think she's supposed to be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Or Lesser Lord Kusanap? The name does seem to fit this... Well, anyway, we'll have to figure that out later. Let's get started on cleaning the statue. Paimon will fly up and take... Nice work. That... We're back!
Welcome back! You must be tired after all that climbing. Let's take a little break. I brought some fruit and water for us.
Yay! Food! What kind of goodies did you bring? Hey! Don't be a party pooper! It's not like Kale is a stranger or anything. Besides, the best way to compliment a chef is to show passion for their food. Xiangling taught Paimon that.
I prepared a nice portable dish that forest rangers like to eat called pita pockets. I hope you'll like them. Whoops!
Ah, no! You dropped it on the ground!
Not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine.
Oh, whew. Paimon nearly had a heart attack there. Those pitas are amazing! You're quite the cook, Kale. Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. Paimon wouldn't have been able to sleep at night knowing something so tasty had been wasted.
You really know how to compliment the chef, Paimon. Since you liked it so much, I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime. I'll even include all my personal cooking pointers, so you'll be making your own pita pockets in no time.
Yay! Thanks, Kale! It's hard to believe someone as diligent as you could have clumsy moments too.
Oh, I guess it happens from time to time.
So, Kale, don't you think that Tainari's a little too strict with you? He won't let you touch anything without his permission. Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but he's never said anything. Everyone has their clumsy moments.
No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. Sure, he may seem a bit harsh at first, but with some time, you'll see that he's actually very kind-hearted. I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious race that is known for their cunning wit and reclusive nature, but Master is actually very kind at heart. Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, there's a group called, something? Well, anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants, sages from the Academia have written him many times, inviting him to take up an official position there. But Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad for my ears. I know, right? I've always wanted to pet them too. Anyway, Master could have easily left the rainforest to take up a position at the Academia, but he chose to stay here instead as a forest watcher, helping the locals every day and passing on his knowledge to trainees. In fact, Master's the one who taught me how to make pita pockets.
Really? Paimon would have never guessed that. Oh, speaking of Tainari, he was the one who took care of you after finding you passed out yesterday. He even carried you all the way here. Paimon's still kinda upset, though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire way here.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a little. But, it's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling, Why, oh why? Is he going to die? It probably started to get under Master's skin after a while.
Hey! Don't laugh! Paimon was genuinely concerned about you.
No, I just... I didn't mean that.
Kale, are you okay? What's the matter?
No, I'm... I'm fine. I'm sorry. I must have startled you both reacting like that. Oh, well, it's getting late now. Let's hurry back to Gandharville. I think Master and the others should be back by now, too.
Huh? What was up with Kale just now? And why is she in such a hurry all of a sudden? Look, she's practically running back. Paimon can't even see her now.
Ja. Ha. Ta. Ja. Ta. Ja. The rainforest climate is far more pleasant than that of the desert.
Dead on my feet.
Ah.
I think I'll stay here a while.
Ah, Traveler. You've returned.
Yep, we're back. Have you seen Kale by any chance?
Oh, Kale? Yes, I saw her go into her room just a moment ago.
Oh, okay. Guess we'll just have to wait and talk to her tomorrow then.
The case before.
Paimon was thinking all night about what happened with Kale, and still can't figure out what the problem might be. Maybe she's in a better mood now. Let's go check on her.
Is far more pleasant than that of the desert.
I am dead on my feet. I think I'll stay here a while.
The rainforest climate is far more pleasant than that of the desert. I'll remind you again. The law can be both a help and a hindrance.
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go look for you.
Huh? Tainari? What are you doing here? Where's Kale?
I came to check on Kale's condition. To put it simply, she's not well.
You mean she's sick? How could she be... Oh, wait a minute. Could it be because of what Paimon did yesterday?
No need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. This sickness is something that Kale has been dealing with for some time. Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself. I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone she considered a friend for some time now. It must have been refreshing for her to have you two here.
So, Tainari, what's really wrong with Kale?
Let's take this conversation elsewhere. Kale just fell asleep after taking her medicine. She needs some peace and quiet.
Sometimes the law's compatible with human nature, but sometimes the two conflict. Balancing the two is a discipline in its own right.
All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized you were that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale told me just now. I've also heard all about your deeds in Liyue and Inazuma. So just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because of who you are or your past feats. Instead, I am going to tell you because Kale asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was against Kale revealing her past to you. But she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend. So now she wishes to reciprocate the gesture.
So, Tainari, what exactly is wrong with Kale? You said this is something she's been dealing with for some time. Just how serious is it?
Right. Ever since she was a child, she's been afflicted with a disease called Elazar.
Elazar?
Yes. It's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and hardened scales that form on the body. At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on affected areas of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued and even experience peripheral paresthesia. In its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body, and they effectively become completely immobile.
That sounds terrifying. Wait, hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting a little clumsy earlier, it was because...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything, lest she ends up hurting herself. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, there is unfortunately still no true cure for Elazar. Nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
What? The Fatui?
It appears you already are familiar with them. That'll save me some explanation. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kale was with them. However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kale is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars. Even now, she can still feel deathly afraid of someone touching her.
Oh, Paimon had no idea Kale's been through so much suffering.
Oh, by the way, Paimon, Kale wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for scaring you yesterday. She also wanted both of you to know that she's sorry for hiding her illness.
She doesn't need to apologize. None of this is her fault at all.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that in person the next time you see her. Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust that you two will never let my trainee experience such emotional pain again.
Don't worry, Tainari. We'll take good care of her.
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led her to break down this time. As long as she has taken her medicine and gets plenty of rest, she should get better. Though I must admit that Kale's condition was much more stable when she first arrived here in Gandharvaville. She was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. I could see that she was serious about learning, so I felt compelled to ask her to join us. Her stamina has gotten much worse recently. Though a moderate amount of physical exercise is always necessary, I'm afraid the long-distance patrols are a little too much for her now. All right, now that I've told you about Kale's past, I think I'll head into the rainforest to find some ingredients needed for her medicine.
Yeah, we'd like to do something to help Kale too.
All right, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering, like the Traveler. You must follow closely and listen to every instruction.
No problemo.
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as the Nilotpala lotus. It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their energy.
Hey, Tainari, where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Nilotpala lotuses can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. The Nilotpala lotus grows in the water. When fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me. The large petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that many of the plants found in Sumeru have names that are contrary to their species. Take the Calpulata, for example. The plant is not a... There should be Nilotpala lotuses growing some... If you could manage to gather 4 of them, we'll rendezvous here once you've gathered the needed amount. Rah!
All right, we've gathered enough Nilotpala lotuses. Hey, Tainari, we found the lotuses you requested.
Let me have a look. Good. Very good. These are all excellent quality. I'm glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here. It seems we even have enough time to stock up on other things I need.
Hey, Tainari!
Oh, Tainari, someone's calling your name. They're dressed like a forest ranger.
Ah, yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? What are they doing back so early? Let's go find out what's going on. Hi there. If you press a leaf between, don't be the value of knowledge cannot. I applied a plant-based I'm used to the rain. I applied a plant-based waterproofing oil to my tail. One swish, and it's dry. The thunder's so loud. My head hurts. I don't see weather like this very often. Oh, are you cold? If you want, you can tuck your hands into my tail. My ears, they're gonna be blown inside out. Germinating seeds break through the soil and take. Happy birthday. I picked out a potted plant in full bloom for you, along with a gardening guide. If anything happens to it, don't hesitate to find me at any time. This plant comes with a Forest Watcher lifetime guarantee. I'll have you know, a lot of flowers are in season on your birthday. Do I need to teach you some new recipes? If you press a leaf between dry sheets of paper, you can make an attractive and handy bookmark.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already cleared just a week ago. It reappeared so quickly. Can you tell me the exact location?
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area, so we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading, so we didn't risk getting any closer.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away. In the meantime, please guide these two back to Gandharvaville.
Wait, Tainari, why don't you let us help you?
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands. There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called the withering. The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't carry a vision, then you should think twice before approaching such places.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous place. As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist the withering's corrosive effects for a time.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities deal with it, like Tainari here. Only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal with it. But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, he may not have a vision, but he's a real pro at using the power of the elements. Don't sweat it. We've helped others deal with similar situations before.
Wait, you've met other forest rangers before? I was planning to properly show you both how to identify the withering before you left Gandharvaville. Anyway, since you two are experienced adventurers, come with me. I'm sure you'll both be able to help.
Hey, look! That gloomy area over there looks like a withering zone. Even though Paimon's seen one before, it's still kinda scary.
All right, Traveler. We're about to enter the Withering Zone. Since you already have experience dealing with these things, you should already know what to do. But please remember, don't push yourself. If at any point it becomes too much, return outside the zone and take a breather. It could become a matter of life and death. You ready then? Let's go. First, we must locate any branches sustaining the Withering Zone. Yeah. Rah!
Step on up. Yeah!
Yeah.
Surprise! Yeah!
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
Over here!
Now! Destroy the tumor of the Withering! Rah!
We did it! Everything's returning to normal now!
Yes. Thanks to you two, we were able to quickly restore this area back to normal.
Tainari? You make it sound like we did well, but why does Paimon have the feeling you're worried about something?
It's that obvious, huh? Alright, it's like this. Recently, the rate at which Withering Zones appear has been increasing. Even though we were able to quickly clear that Withering Zone, it won't be long before another one appears. If that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. But it's far more severe than that. The Withering is leaving lasting effects on the rainforest itself. For instance, even though we cleared out the Withering Zone, many of the plants that were affected will not recover. This presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants in the rainforest are already in decline, directly impacting the wildlife that depends on those plants. And most disturbingly, as the appearances of Withering Zones have started to increase, Kale's case of Elazar has also become more serious.
Huh? But why's that?
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received word from acquaintances at the academia that similar cases are being reported for patients with other conditions. No, none that we know of. The Withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's said that it originates from the depths of the world. Oh, by the way, have you heard of Irminsul before? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't like any tree we know in a biological sense, you can basically think of it as a large tree that grows downwards rather than upwards. I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul, spreading and extending from a massive cavern deep underground all the way up to the surface. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world, which are then funneled into Irminsul, allowing it to collect knowledge and wisdom from ancient times to present day. The Dendro Archon is known as the god of wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. It is also said that the Dendro Archon's power is a manifestation of Irminsul. And as for the Withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's affecting it. That's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukadevada's familiars a long time ago, but even those mysterious creatures did not know of a cure for Irminsul. I'm afraid we Rangers will be battling the Withering Zones here for a long time, until a cure is found. Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time being. Now that we've taken care of things here, it's time for us to head back to Gandharvaville. Keep up!
Oh, Tainari, you all made it back. How did it go?
The Withering Zone you reported has been taken care of. No need to worry. Huh? Wait, is that? Oh no! Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumeru.
Oh, her? How could we forget? So did something happen?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Just let Paimon read it. Huh? All Paimon sees are 3 squiggly lines.
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her asking us for help. We need to go.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few lines on the paper?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her, well, I'd prefer not to remember that. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon, Traveler, could you two bring these to her?
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations? But will the Traveler be okay if her cave is still filled with that funny incense?
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? You're not feeling even a little drowsy? But wait, how'd you know that he'd be okay this time, Tainari?
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that he would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsol's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw when you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all, though I don't intend to apologize for deceiving you. Because what you saw is of significant importance, not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Teyvat. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that that duty has fallen to me, it was a part of my responsibilities to ascertain whether you could be entrusted with the fate of Sumeru. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I no longer feel the need to hide any secrets from you. When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsul. What you witnessed were actually real memories contained within Irminsul itself. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneal are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsul, just as you did.
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us? Seriously, she completely ignored us the last time we tried talking to her.
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with others. Please, wait here for a moment. Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. I'm sure it'll come in handy. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her, and she'll answer any questions you may have. No, I should be the one thanking you. You've both been a great help these last few days.
Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing. Hello? Hypatia? Hey, there's nobody here. Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area. There you are! Hypatia, are you alright?
So hungry. Eat.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Let's try finding some water first. Huh? Wait, why does it look super foggy outside all of a sudden? Anyway, let's go look around.
Phew.
Huh? How'd things out here end up looking like this? What happened? And where are we? Really? Oh, maybe you're right. Let's go investigate the area. Wow, this place is huge! Paimon knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
I'll uproot you! Excuse me? Sir. Huh?
Huh? What happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
Try not to.
Step on up! Tcha! Ha! Didn't quite touch it. Motion to compel. Tcha! Inadmissible evidence!
He. Yeah.
Ha! Boom boom!
Get you. Hit. He. Whoa. Get. Hit.
Surprise!
You're in for a little
Cue the spotlight! Tcha! 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 Ha! Tcha!
Let's nip that in the bud. Yeah. K. S. Ch. Huh. Keep up. Yeah. Sia. Ta.
What in Tibet is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
Ha. Hit. Keep up. Yeah. Yeah. Hit. Ra.
Ja! Ja! Step on up!
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's all part of the learning process.
Strange.
Surprise! Over here!
Come a little closer. You're in. Don't be such a
Motion to compel! Oof! Ha!
Gick. Ha. Hit.
Surprise! Chia! Bum boom!
Yep. Gick. Ha.
One with the forest.
Ha.
Chia! Ha! Chia! Wrath of the Flame!
Yeah.
Ha! Over here! Step on up!
Surrender and I'll be gentle. Hit.
Chia! Chia! Surprise!
Can't see? I hear everything.
Bum boom! Chia! Oof! But my defense was watered.
Huh? Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it! We faced others like him before! What's wrong this time?
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your sister. Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes, the bonds of love and family which drive you to find you. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last. Now die!
What do we do? We haven't seen Hypatia anywhere out here. Oh, there she is! Quick, let's see how she's doing.
Ah, so sweet.
Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that? Oh, guess that makes sense. She does look kind of rough at the moment. Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make sure she's all right first. Whoa, wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her. We can put that to good use.
Who is there? Tainari, is that you? Ah! Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tainari sent us here to bring you some food and water.
I see. So, you're friends of Tainari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this fruit.
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. It was already here when we arrived. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some juice dripping from your lips. How did you end up like this anyway?
Oh, really? I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my, neighbor. Must have come by and saw me like this.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So you're able to see them too?
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had a strange dream? Isn't that a little too crazy to believe?
No, I actually do believe what the Traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before and ended up scaring my timid little neighbor here. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time in order to scurry away.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your neighbor exactly?
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort of deeper connection with the Dendroarchon. I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Irminsul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave, because they didn't seem to mind me approaching them. They just kept doing whatever they were up to. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh, and then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they weren't alone. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me. Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tainari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Irminsul. Sorry about...
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food Alright, we're up, Traveler. Today's menu will
sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other nations before. I certainly look forward to it. It's been so long since I've had a decent meal, too. To be honest, the last time had to be when Tainari came to visit.
This is the place we heard those students talking about. Let's find a seat somewhere and see if we can spot the group they mentioned.
Oh, you've arrived. Please, take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Ha! Once we reclaim the power of King Deshret, they'll be the first that the boss punishes.
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion. They've also amassed a significant amount of Mora this time, so we mustn't underestimate them.
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick Mora?
Yeah, with Boss's fervent devotion, he'll be able to use this power to bring our god back this time.
Huh. All these guys talk about is King Deshret, so they're probably the ones we're looking for.
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when King Deshret exacts vengeance on Sumeru, and all of them shall be punished.
Yeah, Paimon was wondering what they meant too. We should ask about that if we get the chance later.
Welcome.
Huh? Who are you? What do you want? A traveler?
Now's probably not the time to talk about that. Didn't the students say Aramites are wary of outsiders?
A student? Huh. What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port Ormos? Ah, well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it?
Oh, Paimon can't stand to see so much more go. But there's no other choice right now.
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Hmm? Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, that's right! We heard you mention King Deshret just now. We're actually interested to know more because we're, archaeology students!
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora, I guess I can throw in a little extra info. As you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers of King Deshret. Years ago, King Deshret founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization, far beyond anything you'll see in present-day Sumeru. King Deshret was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted. She even stripped him of his title, God of Wisdom.
So, you mean the traitor was...
Greater Lord Ruka Devata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed King Deshret's civilization, and our ancestors were forced to flee to this land where we were made to suffer the tyranny of our enemies. Furthermore, she conspired with the academia to cover up the truth of her actions, and create the merciful and benevolent facade for which she is now known. Ugh, just thinking about it sickens me. But the story doesn't end there, oh no. King Deshret isn't truly dead. The voice of the Oracle has been heard in the desert, prophesying his resurrection. Mark my words, our god shall return. And when that day comes, all followers of the traitor and all the desert dwellers who have forgotten their true god will suffer retribution together. If what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of King Deshret. I don't have anything to say to you academia people about that. I think this conversation has reached its end.
Not just yet. This man is a fraud.
Huh?
You again? Deranged academia lunatic.
Yes, it's me again. I already warned you that if you weren't willing to sit and discuss things with me, I'd take measures to make things uncomfortable for you. Listen to me. That address he gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a merchant waiting for you there. This group has been boasting all around that they can provide information on a certain item as a means of luring people into their territory. Once you show up, they keep up the act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item. Then they use that to squeeze you for all the more you're worth.
Hey! Shut it all, Hatham! What are you playing at, trying to ruin our business like this, hmm?
I told you the other day. I wish to discuss my terms with your boss.
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear that he won't negotiate with you.
Yes, and in no uncertain terms. But that was then. It does not preclude him from changing his mind in the future.
I'm warning you. Don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people from the academia because it just complicates things. For a lunatic like you, though, we might just have to make an exception.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, even the Archons used war to negotiate the ownership of Teyvat. If, on the other hand, we can't agree on any means of negotiation at all, then I'm afraid my next course of action will sting a little more than the mere falling through of a few business deals. I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, which I know you value above all else. I am quite confident that if I began to take such action, your boss would willingly approach me himself. However, I fear that by then, some things will have happened that cannot be undone. Also, a word of advice. I suggest you tell your boss exactly what happened here today. Otherwise, he might blame you for not telling him in the future.
What did you say?
Consider this. Have I ever failed to follow through on my word in the past?
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 mora to them.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. This wouldn't happen to be because they're all busy spreading the word to the students, would it?
Well...
Someone who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Whoa, did you see that? He not only got us our Mora back, but sent the Emirites running too! Plus, he seems to know a lot about what's going on around here. Let's catch up with him and ask some questions! He went that way! After him!
Got it. What's going on? Oh, so then what happened next?
Why does it have to be?
What do you want? No need for thanks. My goal was to get to them, and you two gave me just the opportunity I needed. We're even. Oh, I advise you to keep your distance from them. Since they weren't able to make off with your Mora in the end, they might harass you again in the future. All right. Goodbye.
Hold your horses! We still have something to ask you about! Since you tore through their scam right in front of them, you must know the real story about certain something, no?
Who exactly are you two? And why are you inquiring about that? A student. Right. Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with your lie.
Huh? Oh, yeah! He's really strong! Weren't you saying something about a physical exchange? We can help with that.
He doesn't even have a vision. Forget it.
Maybe not, but he can still use elemental energy. Otherwise, there's no way we'd go asking for info from from guys like that. Those high-headed thugs are definitely gonna bring a lot of backup for your next meeting. Even if you don't go alone, you won't regret taking us with you.
All right, I accept. Got a pen and paper? If you're searching for someone who sells that kind of merchandise, I'll give you one of their addresses, and you can try your luck. We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier. It doesn't matter if you show up or not.
So, since you were happy to give us this merchant's information, does that mean you can tell us exactly what we're after?
You were willing to part with 500,000 Mora for something and you didn't even know what it was? Okay. Well, if you truly are as skilled as you claim, then you can beat the answer out of them when they become hostile. Look, if you've been making inquiries, then you have to know something by now. Tell me what you know so far, so I don't waste time repeating information.
We know it's connected to the academia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites deal in it, but some students want to get a hold of it too. What else?
You know almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information because you've never seen the object before. This is what you've been looking for.
Huh? Paimon can't tell what it is. It looks like some kind of ornament.
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's a vessel that can store a fixed quantity of canned knowledge. It's like a miniature Akasha. Anyone who links it to their personal Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents. Correct. Anyone. Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what information, knowledge capsules confer their contents without any requisites.
That's amazing!
It's essentially a convenient and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in Sumeru to privately possess or trade them. They were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the Akasha, and are intended to be destroyed immediately after use. But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, there will always be those in this world who are dissatisfied with life as designed for them by the Akasha and wish to change their fate. Over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the academia. Now, in Port Ormos, the valuable ones are a means to Mora for the Eremites. Meanwhile, those which the Eremites deem to be useless to them occasionally prove useful to the common citizens and hapless academia students. Well, I think that about sums it up. So that's your true objective. With our current arrangement, I don't believe I can offer an answer. You're still resolved. Fine. Let's talk somewhere with fewer people. Let's continue our conversation here. If you wish to learn more about the knowledge capsule that the Academia lost, then you must help me with something. I need you to find someone named Dory, a traveling merchant. Unlike the peddlers who hawk inferior knowledge capsules, she often has quality goods in stock. Some say that as long as there is profit to be made, there is nothing she won't dare to sell. She's guarded against people from the Academia because most of her wares don't comply with Academia regulations. I think she blacklisted me. I met with her informant, but it soon became clear that they had no intention of letting me get any further. Become one of Dory's customers and earn her trust. This is my condition for further collaboration.
Why do you want us to meet with her?
Until you complete this task, you don't have question privileges.
Fine. So how do we go about doing this?
You two are outlanders who haven't been here for long, so Dory should view you as safe clients. I'll give you the informant's address and their contact password. Beyond the password, though, I have no way of knowing what other tricks she might have up her sleeve. You'll have to improvise.
This is kind of nerve-wracking.
The true challenge begins after you meet her. She has a keen nose for Mora and a shrewd eye for wares, and she only likes customers who she deems to have good taste. I'll prepare some funds for you. Buy her highest quality wares and earn her approval.
What? We only just saw a knowledge capsule for the first time. We don't know how to tell which ones are good and which ones are bad. Is that something we can learn quickly?
That's true. Have you two heard of elemental sight? Oh, that's a surprise. Guess I'll have to hold you in higher regard. Anyway, that ability should resolve your issue. Here are 2 knowledge capsules. Tell me, can you detect any difference in their quality?
They look the same to Paimon.
Try inspecting them with elemental sight.
How'd it go? Did you see anything?
Rumor has it that higher quality knowledge capsules generally appear brighter when viewed through elemental sight. That's because knowledge originates from Irminsul, the root of Dendro power itself. The more powerful the knowledge, the richer it is in Dendro energy. However, some canned knowledge with a high concentration of elemental energy is of little use in contemporary times, so those capsules are of little value. Using elemental sight is merely a stopgap measure, but it should suffice for earning Dory's trust.
That sounds pretty impressive.
Here's a sheet with the informant's location and contact password, and here is the Mora for purchasing canned knowledge. Don't be cheap. You'll need to spend to catch Dory's eye. If there's any Mora left over, just keep it. Oh, and be sure to exercise some caution. There have been Matra present in Port Ormos lately. Your efforts will be for naught if they catch you.
Matra?
They belong to the Academia's regulatory body. They also handle cases of illegal canned knowledge transactions. Like I said, the Academia has banned both their trade and possession. The Matra are razor sharp. You're in for nothing good if they lock their sights onto you. If you two want to back out, now's the time. Okay, then we have a deal. If you succeed in your dealings with Dory, come find me at the Wikela Funduk. We'll have an open discussion then.
Looking at what Al-Haytham wrote, Dory's informant is a trader near Old Ormos. Let's follow these instructions and try to get in contact with him.
Tea is ready. Now it's time for a short rest.
Hello. What are you two looking to buy?
Wait, are you sure you're remembering that right? Hyman doesn't think it was that on the paper.
What a unique palate. We have unripe Hara fruits, but we usually keep them in the back. I'll have someone escort you.
Following the paper got us past the first round.
Ronak, these two want to buy unripe Hara fruits. Show them to the warehouse.
Got it. You two, please follow me. You two have a fascinating fashion sense. We haven't seen a customer wearing a Sumeru rose for quite some time.
Hold on. Let me think. Sumeru rose means common merch. No, look again. We're obviously wearing morning flowers.
Ah, my mistake. I do apologize.
Whew. That pop quiz sure was scary.
Ah, the warehouse is up ahead. Please follow me. Before I retrieve your products, I need to confirm a few things. Please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our Hara fruits were taken by mice.
Hold on. That's not right.
I'm sorry. But as things...
He's cautious of us. Let's take a quick...
Before I retrieve your products, I need... Please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our Hara fruits were taken by mice. Thanks. If better goods come in, you'll be the first to know. You look like you have some skill. Why don't I pick out some fruits that'll make you dizzy?
No, that's not it. The paper said that heat stroke is the answer to erudition.
I'm sorry.
He's cautious of us. Let's take a closer look at the paper.
Before I retrieve your products, I need to confirm a few things. Please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our Aaaa fruits were taken by mice. Thanks. You look like you have some skill. Why don't I pick out some fruits that'll make you dizzy?
Yep, that's the right answer. But eating Aaaa fruit that makes your head and ears ring sounds like a bad life decision.
Would you like your Aaaa fruits to be packaged in the Sumeru City or Port Ormos style? Wow, you two sure are generous customers. We'll be sure to package your products beautifully. Okay, everything has been confirmed. Miss Dory is waiting for you up at... Shoot! It's the Matra! Run!
What? The Matra? Where? I'll hate them said we're done for if they catch us. We gotta get out of here. We don't know this area, so let's follow that informant. He ran that way. Look, he's over there!
Zip on up! Surprise!
Hey! If you're hiding from the Rishbaland tiger, come this way! Another password! Huh? Oh, that voice came from behind the building!
Here, over here. You can stop running now.
So you were the one who was calling out to us just now. But, are we definitely gonna be safe here?
These two good customers wish to buy some Aaaa fruit, Miss Dory. And if there's nothing else, I'll just excuse myself.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Huh? Wait, you're Dory? I'm unsure thought you'd look a whole lot scarier.
Hey, what are you trying to say, Princess Pea-Brain? I can be scary enough when I need to be, believe you me. If you don't watch what you say, then you can forget about doing any business. But it seems you two have actually done pretty well so far. Not only did you manage to find the informant, your reactions were also pretty sharp. You don't really look like criminals or anything, but I bet my Mora that you've been involved in some shady dealings, haven't you?
Paimon's not sure if that's supposed to be a compliment, but we'll take it.
I can't risk doing business with people who start huffing and puffing after just a few paces. No matter how much Mora they might have. Not only will they get caught by the Matra, but they'll also get us into trouble. As decent folks trying to run an honest business, we don't need any of that. Wouldn't you agree? So that's why I prefer to have customers like you. It's your first time here, but don't worry, I won't ask too many questions. Even if you wish to buy enough knowledge capsules to decorate your house with, please, knock yourself out. As long as you have lots of round, shiny Mora, then we're all good. Ah, yes, of course, of course. Go ahead, help yourselves. Voila!
Wow, she has a trove of canned knowledge. Whew. She'd probably be in serious trouble if the Matra caught her with all this.
What kind of products do you seek, my dear customers? Don't worry, I'm not interested in your reasons for buying. I can, however, offer some suggestions. Take this one, for example. An analysis of the sociological ideology and dialectics of the Hilichurls. Only 3 people in all of Teyvat have ever studied it, making it extremely rare. It's on sale now for 350,000 mora.
Yeesh. Who would want to be an expert in that topic?
Or how about the architectural styles and construction methods of Teyvat in the early Archon War period? With this one, you can become an expert in historic architecture preservation and find an excellent, well-paying job in nearly any nation.
Ooh, now this sounds like it could be useful.
2 million mora, and it's yours. No discounts.
Whoa! That's a lot of mora!
Of course, you are free to pick whatever your heart's desire. The contents and price of each knowledge capsule are indicated in small text on the body of each one, down at the bottom.
Alright, let's try the method that Al-Haytham mentioned.
You've really got a good head on your shoulders, and quite the eye for...
We'll take these, please and thank you.
My oh my, you are blessed with a taste for both the exquisite and the extravagant. Customers like you are a rare breed. 1 in 100. No, 1 in 1,000 even. Listen, I have a special offer for you two. If you spend just 100,000 more, you can pick any knowledge capsule of your choice up to a value of 1 million mora.
Say what now? Hey, did you hear that? Spend another 100K and we get a capsule worth a whole million! But all the canned knowledge we just bought is easily worth 500,000 mora. If we spend just a little more, we can get something worth 1 million mora. Isn't that a fantastic deal? Think about it. We've gone to all this trouble to get this canned knowledge. And so far, everything we bought belongs to Al-Haytham. Aren't you even the least bit curious about how this whole canned knowledge thing works? We're talking instant knowledge here. Don't you want to try it yourself? Come on, come on! We still have around 100,000 of Al-Haytham's mora left. So let's put it to good use by finding something useful for you. Ahem, you've got a deal, Dory. We'd like to spend an extra 100,000 mora.
Excellent! Then please, select from this fine collection of canned knowledge over here.
Hold on a second. Paimon thought we could choose whatever we wanted. Why can't we choose the ones from over there?
Oh, but my dear customer, the knowledge capsules over here are worth 1 million mora each. I'm sure discerning customers like yourselves will be able to find something to your liking. Please, take your time.
Uh-oh, Paimon has a bad feeling about this. Let's use Elemental Sight again to check these. So, what did you see? So, they're all worth about the same amount? Well, anyway, the mora's already been spent, so let's at least try to find something useful. Let Paimon take a look here. An introduction to traditional Sumeru brewing techniques, the art of growing spices, an overview of ancient runes. Oh, how about this one? Sword Fighting Techniques 8. Not sure we'd ever find volumes 1 through 7, but at least this knowledge should be useful, right? Let's go with this one. Dory, we'll take this one.
All right, very good. I'm expecting some new goods in the next couple days, so be sure to check back again soon. Whether it's canned knowledge or anything else you need, bring your Mora to Dory and doors will open.
Our dealings with Dory went smoothly enough. Let's head to Aaaa Funduk and meet up with Alhaitham. Hopefully now he'll finally tell us about what the Academia lost.
Trust me, I'll find you your perfect color.
Ha! You two made it. And from the looks on your faces, you were successful.
Whoa, there's so many people from the Academia here. Why would you pick this place as our meetup spot?
Well, Aaaa Funduk is under the Academia's control, so naturally the Academia has people working here. I came to Port Ormos under the pretense of conducting official business.
You're a pretty daring guy.
Relax. No one here is interested in anything we say, and the Matcha won't come here. Okay now, tell me how your encounter with Dory went.
Okay, we did what you asked. So, can you tell us about the knowledge capsule that the Academia lost now?
Before that, I have to ask. Why are you two so intent on tracking it down? You don't have to answer, of course.
Yeah, he just wants to meet the God of Wisdom and ask her about something important. We've been in Sumeru for a while now, but we still haven't found a way. When we heard that the Academia had lost something that might be related to the gods, we came here in case it turned out to be our lucky break.
In that case, you're on the right track. A short while ago, the Academia lost a knowledge capsule in the desert. It's supposedly a divine knowledge capsule. Use it, and you'll gain the wisdom of the gods.
Wow, there's really such a thing as that? Hey, if we find it, do you think we could learn how to meet the Dendro Archon? Ooh, or how to find your sister?
I highly doubt it has any mystical properties, but it does indeed exist. And it's right here, in Port Ormos.
So, where exactly?
That's what we need to find out next. I won't deny that. I am investigating because I'm curious as to what the divine knowledge capsule truly is. As you know, the Eremites in Port Ormos also have their eyes on it. It is an extremely precious item. The knowledge contained within may bring great power or wealth to whoever has it in their possession. Several brigades have been vying for ownership of it as of late, but there is still no victor. My personal finances and connections cannot compete with those of the Eremites. After attempting various methods, I finally managed to reach a tentative agreement with several brigades. I agreed to forego ownership of the divine knowledge capsule in exchange for the opportunity to study it. After all, There's no harm in understanding what it is. However, there are those who are less amenable to negotiation, such as those from Ain al-Ahmar.
They adamantly believe that the Divine Knowledge Capsule contains King Deshret's power, and that he will return to this world when they obtain it. They refuse to let anyone from the Academia tarnish their deity's soul.
So you kept hounding them because they refused to cooperate with you?
Yes. Ain al-Ahmar isn't exactly wealthy, but its members are determined to get that capsule by any means necessary. To that end, they've resorted to many methods more foul than fair in order to amass sufficient funds. So, I've been sabotaging their business to force them into negotiating with me. The Divine Knowledge Capsule should be up for a secret auction within the next few days. Each brigade will place their own bid, and the prize will be covertly given to the winner. To ensure the capsule's security and to evade the Matra's notice, the winning brigade will not publicly disclose their victory. Unless I know whose hands the Divine Knowledge Capsule ends up in, my agreements with them will fall through. Dory is the most reliable source of information, but that avenue was previously closed to me. With you on board now, the situation is different.
In other words, you wanted us to befriend Dory so you could find out where the Divine Knowledge Capsule is.
Yes, you can say that. But this arrangement harms none of us. The day after tomorrow, go back to Dory and try to purchase information on the Divine Knowledge Capsule's whereabouts. If she has no information, wait 2 days and approach her again. If I get the opportunity to study the Divine Knowledge Capsule, I will relay my findings to you. Will that suffice as compensation? Okay, then we'll meet up in 2 days.
Haytham, before you go, we actually bought a knowledge capsule for ourselves, but we're not sure how to use it.
You two want to try using a knowledge capsule? Sure, I can teach you. Doing so right under the Academia's nose is a bit problematic, though. What do you say we head to the outskirts of town?
on us! Surprise! Zip on us!
I'll uproot you! I'll bury you!
Incinerate!
Enshroud!
Motion to compel! Time for your arraignment! Remarkable condition.
All right. This place works. Show me the capsule you purchased.
Here.
Sword Fighting Techniques 8. Huh. A combat class knowledge capsule. This class is something of a rare find these days, since most have been taken by the Eremites to augment their battle capabilities.
Really? Aw, yeah, what a great buy!
If you want to determine the efficacy of this capsule, I can evaluate your combat ability. However, effects will likely be minimal if you already possess a high amount of strength.
We can conduct a controlled experiment where you fight 2 battles, one before using this knowledge capsule and one after. While you fight, we can use an Akasha terminal to monitor your various physical parameters. There may be variances in your physical strength between the 2 tests, as well as a disparity in your opponent's abilities. But don't worry, I'll run statistical analyses afterward to mitigate any confounding effects.
Wow! Hatham! You must have been one of those guys at the academia who got top grades on everything. Paimon's curious about something, though. You definitely weren't one of those students who needed canned knowledge to graduate from the academia, right? So why are you risking getting caught by the Matra for this capsule?
When you are unable to understand a researcher's actions, most cases can be attributed to curiosity. This is but one theory.
Sounds like you're trying to avoid the question.
All right, let's begin the test. Just fight as you normally do.
Over here! Zip on up! Over here! Incinerate!
All right. I'll link your Akasha terminal to record data. The next step is to use this knowledge capsule. Hold it in your hand. I'll help you establish a connection with it so you can activate its power.
Entering standby mode. I hope nobody disturbs me.
Hey, how are you feeling? You mean that it worked?
All right. Time for round 2. Fight with the same composure as before.
Let's nip that in the bud.
Now, I'll start recording.
Oh, Hatham, how's it going?
Well, the knowledge capsule you purchased did improve his combat capability. During the second fight, his overall fighting performance increased by 0.073%.
Wait, how much? Dory's such a jerk! She totally scammed us! 1 million Mora? This thing isn't worth a tenth of that amount!
Of course, this could be because he is so powerful that the capsule's contents were unable to produce a substantial increase. At the very least, this test allowed me to gain more insight into you two. Our deal seems increasingly worth my investment. I'm heading back to Ikela Funduk. I await your response in 2 days' time. This is Mora for when you ask Dory for information. Pay her as much as she requests.